My role at Brompton Bicycle is the Head of Purchasing and Logistics. I oversee the inbound logistics of all of the components on the bike. We have 43 main suppliers, not including the odd 10 that we have for consumable parts like glue, etc. These are based all around the world. 11 of our suppliers are based in Taiwan, where we import from quite a lot, about 30% of our stock holding, and the rest are in the UK and mainland Europe. The wheels consist of various components which are sourced from around the world. We import all of the various parts and outsource them to a wheel builder in the UK. He then assembles the wheels and then sends them to the factory. The way that I'm involved with selecting suppliers is basically assisting our design team from a logistical perspective, and also when it comes to looking at pricing and commodities and things like that. Regarding the inbound logistics, our suppliers arrange the carriage. We occasionally tell them which couriers we'd like to use, and it's organised that way. Regarding our imports from Taiwan, we have a specified freight forwarder that we use, which all of our suppliers are aware of. The components that are difficult to source would be our titanium rear frames, which come from a supplier in Russia. We have difficulties in sourcing the actual titanium, and the way that the rear frame is actually welded together also poses difficulties, which means we can't dual source with another supplier if we have issues with the existing supplier. The reason we dual source is in the event that we have an issue with our current supplier. The way that we dual source is that we work closely with our design team. We have to provide the alternative supplier with drawings, etc., as most of the parts are bespoke to us. Once the drawings have been issued to the alternative supplier, they then come back to us with samples, etc. We then test these samples to ensure that they actually fit the specification we've asked for, and then we take it from there. This doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to use the alternative supplier, but it's good to know that we've got somebody else there should we see any problems. 95% of our components are based on a VMI basis, which is vendor managed inventory. What we ask our suppliers to do is hold stock for us, and then the onus of managing the stock is on them. So we call off the stock as and when we require it. They then replenish to ensure that the stock's there for us to recall the next time we need it.
On what basis do you purchase the other 5% of your inventory?
That's generally done in bulk. We use things like forward orders just to cover the supplier's supply chain. We have numerous issues where a supplier can't hold stock for us. They have long lead times, etc. So we try to cover ourselves best we can with that 5% of our supply base. The way we manage our Kanban systems, it's a visual mechanism in our stores. We work with 3-bin system. Depending on which bin we are, we have a trigger to let us know that we need to call off the stock from a supplier. The quantities in the Kanbans are based on what is used on the production floor, as not every part is on every bike. The basis for the Kanban system is as soon as we touch the red bin, which has the red card on it, that on average has about 2 weeks worth of stock in it. The store's operatives bring the card over to one of the buyers, and that's the trigger which allows us 2 weeks to call the stock in. The barcode system that we use to track the parts basically works on the basis that as soon as we issue physically something to production, we make sure we scan it out, and this then moves it from various warehouses on our stock control system, and we manage our inventory that way. So we have both a visual management system and also the inventory management on our in-house stock control system.